Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me today. I have a fun project lined up using this Walk on the Beach bead strand from Jesse James Beads. And tonight, it is June 20th. It is Juneteenth today and they have a special 19% off today. So go ahead and visit jessejamesbeads.com and go ahead and grab this strand and many more and you get 19% off. I also have some craft wire in silver by a Softflex company. I have some shiny silver jump rings. I have some custom findings from Silver Silk and More. You can find these at jessejamesbeads.com too. And Silver Silk and More, or silversilkonline.com. Also have these little Terminators. These little Terminators are super cool because they just help finish off the capture chain or pearlescent chain without having a loop on the end. So they finish things off really well. Then we have a toggle clasp, and this is a hammer tone Tierracast toggle clasp. And then I also have some little tiny shiny silver beads. And so we're going to make a necklace. We're going to use this Rockstar capture chain, and we are going to I think I'm going to make a front closure necklace using the lobster clasp, or using the toggle clasp, and then I want to use this center bead. The last time I had this strand, when I made my necklace, I braided some gray, white, and black Softflex beading wire, and just strung this on, and it looked really cute, very simple. And with today's project, I am going to use this chunky, it's like it has little chips in it, and I'm going to go ahead and use this one, and I think I'm going to use some of these little tiny black ones too, and save the rest for another project. But what is capture chain? You see this on the Jesse James Beads website, and this is, as you will see, there's a balled chain on the inside with wire knitted around the outside, and it's available in multiple colors. This one's Rockstar, and so Rockstar is a black gunmetal ball chain with black knitted wire around it. And there's also black, and this black one is a little different. It has the silver ball chain with the black knitted wire around it. I decided to go all black so that I can pull in the colors from this bead here. So the first thing that we're going to do is kind of push a few things over to the side. And we're going to go ahead and unleash these beads. And I always save these little spacer or bumper beads. I always save those because I end up using them. But we're going to go ahead and go all the way down to there. And then we're probably just going to use 2 of these. So we'll put the rest. Look at that gorgeous bead. I love that AB finish on these rondelles. They're so gorgeous. And then let's go. Look at that peach bead. So pretty. This acts like it's on, that it's permanently adhered to it, but it's not. They come off. So if you don't want to use bronze, which this antique bronze up against this peach is gorgeous, then we're going to go ahead and grab another one of these. Then we're going to just push the rest off to the side. And then also too, the strand comes with quite a few little crystal rondelles, some boho beads, and some longer larger rondelles. And look at these gorgeous black faceted beads. So pretty, a beautiful strand. So let's do about we're going to do about 2.5 inches on one. So I'm going to go one extra ball in here so that I can insert that one in the finding. I am going to go ahead and give that a snip. And then I'm going to condition. And how you condition the ends is you want to just kind of form your, knitted wire around the ball that you're going to be inserting into here. Plus, you want to get rid of some of these wire fuzzies. So now I'm going to go again, and I'm going to cut the same length, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to get the same length and then one that's a little bit shorter, and I'll come right back. Okay, now I have all these little wire fuzzies all over, but that's how the silver silk, it doesn't fray, but you will get these little wire fuzzies. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I want to go ahead and start inserting these into the custom finding. And what I do is I just, like I said, I run my fingers over just to get them all nice and primed. And then let's go ahead and get this third one on there and just make sure that everything is all primed and ready. And if you see right here, this one has a little bit of a longer, I'm going to go ahead and get that trimmed off and give that a little bit of a roll. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get these inserted into, I want to try and get them all lined up as well as I can and as even as I can. And then we'll go ahead and get them inserted in. Let's get those. And I'm just going to go ahead and put them in. And you can go in as far as you can get them to go. I usually get like one ball in, one or two. Let's go ahead and the wire fuzzies, if you don't get your wire fuzzies all trimmed off by the time you start crimping down, that's okay, because you can just trim them off. So we'll show you how to do that too. And then now that I have those in there and I make sure that I'm not crimping over a ball, I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze and another squeeze. And now I know that I need to give more of a squeeze over to the side here. I don't want any gaps. Give that a little bit of a squeeze. And again, because I have that coating over my flat nose pliers, I'm not damaging these gorgeous findings. So I did my middle one just a little bit longer. And so now what I want to do is I want to use these little Terminators to finish them off. I'm going to open them up just a little bit more, just so that I can be sure that I can fit the ball through them with the ball chain. And these are custom made, and as you can see, they're all the same silver, and that's what I love about these findings from Silver Silk, is that everything is the same color. Oh, let's go ahead and get these primed a little bit too. I like having the same shade of the metal. We're going to go ahead and get this inserted in. I think I need to open it up just a little bit more. And I'm just inserting my chain nose pliers and I'm just opening them up just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and get that inserted in and then give it a little bit of a squish, and look how that finishes it off perfectly. Okay, I'm going to do these other two and I'm going to come right back. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we need to get a couple of single strand. So we need to get a couple of single strand with loops. And these are all the different colors. They come in gold, in that black or gunmetal, the shiny silver. Then we have shiny copper, and then antique gold, antique copper. So those are all the different colors. Now we need to decide how long we want the necklace. And I want it to hang at my collarbone. And so I'm gonna cut, and then again, let's go about 16 inches. We're gonna go about 16 inches because we're gonna take into consideration about an inch for the components here. So let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a trim at 16 inches. And you notice I kind of cut around the wire and then I cut where the ball chain is. I don't know where I got that from, but I don't know if I saw Neely do it once or someone do it once, and I started just doing that rather than just one clean swoop of a cut. All right, so let's go ahead and get these inserted. Again, these have those special teeth too. So I'm just gonna come in and open it up just a little bit, just so that I can make sure I get my ball chain in there easily. And with these, I think I can go ahead and put in a couple, and I can, but I need to get this a little bit more conditioned here. So let's go ahead and, oh, it keeps on. I'm gonna go ahead and trim off that ball. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and just get this a little conditioned and get that inserted in there. And you can go a couple of balls in, or you can just go one. There's probably a preferred, but I try to go one just because then I mean, it's secure in there, and then I'm not hiding all of my ball chain, my capture chain. And here we have a little bit of a piece sticking out, so we're gonna go ahead and just trim that off. And again, you can't even see it. Now what I wanna do is I wanna make sure that my S is gonna show on both sides as well as I can get that. Let's go ahead and condition or prime that. Let's try and get that to go in the same direction because I want my SS's to show. I'm gonna go ahead and insert that. And let's go ahead and make sure I'm not sitting on top of a ball, and give that a little bit of a crimp, and then give it a little bit of a crimp. Make sure I don't have any fuzzies sticking out, and there we go. So I have one component already made with using the little kind of sugar crystalled bead with a little spacer bead and my wrap. And I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to use, again, the 20 gauge craft wire from Softflex. And I'm going to go ahead and get out, and I'm going to go ahead and get out a piece for that as well. So let's go ahead and just get a long strand here. I think I'm getting down to the end of my wire here. Getting close. All right, so we're gonna do about a 4 and about a 4. Okay, so let's go ahead, and first thing we wanna do is we want to make our first loop. So we're gonna do that by giving it this little bend here about an inch. This is probably about 1.5 inches, but you only need about 1 inch. And come in about so. Roll, form that over the top barrel, let go. Now have your palm facing the table and just pull that to the back. And then you see how that is lopsided there? Let's go ahead and just roll and get that looking centered. We'll go ahead and just put some, firm yet gentle pressure. We'll go ahead and wrap this around 3 times. And as you know, I'm not just making one swoop. I'm not making one swoop loops here or wraps. I am actually letting go in between. Sometimes if you have jump rings, not jump rings, if you use head pins, sometimes what you'll do is you'll snap those head pins. not so much with wire, especially the 20 gauge, but still you get into a habit of doing it a certain way. It's always good to do that. Okay, so I'm using my little spacer bead and then my little sugar crystal bead and then another spacer bead. And I don't want a long neck. What that means is I only want my little 3 wraps here. I don't want extra space in between. So I'm gonna come here, and again, I want my loop to go the same direction. So I am going to just put my tippy tip of my chain nose pliers here and give that 90-degree angle sharp bend and come in about the same spot as I was, form that over the top, hold on to that. Now push that into the back, and then let's get that all nice and centered. Then we're gonna come in and just apply a little gentle yet sturdy pressure. And now we don't have any space in between, and we have a nice clean 3 wrap neck there. And we'll come in, and sometimes I'll use my bent chain nose pliers to get that all nice and tidy. And then also to just take a look at your loop. If your loop doesn't look like it's straight, just go ahead and get a nice firm grip, and then just kind of give it a little bit of an adjustment, okay, if that's what you need. Okay, so I've changed direction on how I'm going to be making this necklace. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach and attach. Then I'm going to add my clasp here for the front, and then I will hang this and this from the center here. Okay, so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and give this a bend. I'm going to go down about maybe 1.5 inches or so and give it a real nice sharp 90-degree angle bend. Then I want to be able to fit this around the loop here, and so I'm going to want a larger loop. So I'm going to come about halfway. Now granted, these are long, these have a long nose on them. Some other round nose pliers have a shorter, and so then they might have a fatter end on here, or even not as fat right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go halfway, because I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to get this loop around that component. So there we go there. And I'm going to actually open it up a little bit, and you can use your fingers, you can use whatever you want. I'm just going to open it up a little bit using my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to come in with my wider ones just because I have a lot of room in between there, and I can go ahead and fit these wider nose chain nose pliers. I always just kind of give it a little bit of an initial locking. And since this is the orientation is going to be a little different, my back is going to be actually back here. So now I'm going to have it like this. So I want the tail to be cut in the back. So we're going to cut that back there, and then just give it a little bit of a squeeze just to make sure that that end is not sticking out. Okay, so now we have that, and let's go ahead and get it strung through this gorgeous bead. There we go. Then I want to make sure that I have my loop is going to go in the same direction, because I'm going to go ahead and attach it directly here. Okay, so now what I want to do is make that 90-degree angle bend. And let's see, how am I going to do that? Because I want it to go in the same direction. So if I go this way, yep. So I'm going to go ahead and give it that 90-degree angle bend there. And when I mean in the same direction, the loop is going in the same direction. Also too, I want my wraps. You see how the wraps start on this side here? I'm just really very weird about making sure that my wraps are going in the same direction. Now for this side, I don't need that big of a loop just because that is not as thick as the component is. Let's get that. Okay, then we'll go ahead and get this on here like so. Okay, that is perfect. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I'm going to use my smaller chain nose pliers just because I have a smaller loop. And I'm still going to use, I can very easily use my fingers to get this all the way around, but I'm still going to go ahead and use my bent chain nose pliers. I just feel like I get a tighter, stronger, and I have more control wrap. And I want to end in the back, which is back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim. Okay, and again, we have very minimal, look, we have very minimal overages here. And then we want to come in, and you can come in with your bent chain nose pliers, just like so. And go ahead and I want my thinner ones. And just tuck that in a little bit. Just make sure, well, you have to make sure you get on it. There you go. Oh, nope. So here it is back over here. So I'm gonna have to bring it around a little bit. The tail got away from me. And actually, instead of me smushing on top, what I did was I smushed the tail that way. So then I had to go back around. Okay, so now we have this component here. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to attach these guys, and then we're going to attach those. And so we have some jump rings here. And I do want my front, just like so, and then get these nice and locked in place. Let's get another jump ring. Get that opened up. And get the bar side of the toggle. And then get that closed up. And so what you can do is you can do your the fingernail test. And then you can also just wiggle around and you can feel it. Sometimes you'll hear it lock into place. Also, something to keep in mind is that your toggle is going to have to go through the, you're going to have to bring your toggle through a little bit in order to get it connected. So that's another reason why I added a jump ring too. Not just, it's for the orientation too. I want the orientation to be right. This is the front. But I also need to allow room for the bar to come through. You see there, you see how it goes right through here? And so I needed to have at least a little bit of room to get that to go through. So if I had a big chunky bead like this, right up against this here, it wouldn't be able to go, the bar wouldn't be able to go through the component, if that makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy opened. And the front. And go ahead and see, did you hear it kind of lock in place? It kind of locks in place. Okay. Then we have another jump ring here. And then we want to make sure we're getting this on Okay. And then just do your little fingernail test. So let's get this out of the way. So again, we didn't have that much of extra wire. I felt like I cut one of them way too long, but still not that bad. And here we have it. We have our cute little front connecting necklace using Jesse James beads, silver silk, and Tierracast. What a great marriage of amazing products all in one piece. So be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you like what you see. Be sure to comment. I love to read what everybody has to say, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.